Michael Cohen has just disclosed in court that the client who had requested to remain unnamed was Sean Hannity of Fox News.
The liberal media, they can't stop talking about me. You know, the person that's living in that house in middle America, that's struggling, that's seeing the taxes go up. The dream of owning your own home has been made a nightmare under Obama for many Americans. Nobody has a right to live in somebody else's property or building. I hate the stock market. I prefer real estate. Michael knows real estate. I buy some apartment buildings. Nobody has a right to live in somebody else's property or building, and I want to rent out the apartment buildings. Nobody has a right to live in somebody else's property or building. Why should the government decide if I want to rent the apartment for $3,000, why do I have to rent it for $800? I hate the stock market. I prefer real estate. Michael knows real estate. Michael Cohen never represented me in any legal matter. I prefer real estate. Michael knows real estate. I never retained his services. Michael knows real estate.
But he did admit that he had legal discussions with Cohen in the past.
Michael knows real estate. The dream of owning your own home has been made a nightmare under Obama for many Americans. Michael knows real estate. Nobody has a right to live in somebody else's property or building. Michael knows real estate. I buy some apartment buildings. Michael knows real estate. You know, the person that's living in that house, Michael knows real estate. In middle America, Michael knows real estate. And the taxes go up, Michael knows real estate. Michael knows real estate. Michael knows real estate. Michael knows real estate. Michael knows real estate.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. And why is a man who makes well over $30 million a year taking money from HUD, money that should go to people like you and me to buy homes, and buying up property by the boatload and renting it back to poor people? Why is a man who dogged Obama relentlessly and accused him of being responsible for the housing crisis taking advantage of that crisis by buying up all of the property that he can to rent back to poor people? And when will the Hannity supporters and the Fox 2 News supporters and the Trump supporters and all the supporters of whatever it is that you support because you think that these people are looking out for the sanctity and the welfare of white America, when are you gonna finally come to the conclusion and face facts that these people don't give a shit about you? They are playing you, white America, or most of you, white America, or those of you who seem to think that these people support you. They're playing you like a bunch of chumps, and they do not care about you. All right, today is Learn Something Day on the Wake Up Report, and we're going to learn about shell corporations, because that is what Hannity has been operating under while he was dogging Obama for the housing crisis. He was taking advantage of that crisis and taking people's houses away from them and building a real estate empire off of the blood, sweat, tears, and misfortune of people who lost their homes during the same housing crisis that he dogged Obama for. Now, Hannity was on his show recently talking about how the liberal media can't get enough of him. They can't get enough of talking about what's going on. This has nothing to do with the liberal media. This has everything to do with you being dishonest, greedy, a slumlord, and any other thing that we find out about you when it comes to your dirty dealings in real estate and with HUD. So let's talk about shell corporations today, or shell companies, what they do, how they are formed, and how they benefit people like Hannity, who is now talking out of both sides of his big mouth when it comes to his dirty dealings in the real estate market and HUD. All right, here we go. A shell company is a company that exists only on paper and has no office and no employees, but may have a bank account or may hold passive investments or be the registered owner of assets, such as intellectual property or ships. Shell companies may be registered to the address of a company that provides a service, setting up shell companies, and which may act as the agent for receipt of legal correspondence, such as an accountant or lawyer. The company may serve as a vehicle for business transactions without itself having any significant assets or operations. Sometimes shell companies are used for tax evasion, tax avoidance, and money laundering, or to achieve a specific goal such as anonymity. Anonymity may be sought to shield personal assets from others, such as a spouse, when a marriage is breaking down, from creditors, from government authorities, besides others. Shell companies do have legitimate business purposes. They may, for example, act as trustee for a trust and not engage in any other activity on its own account. This structure creates limited liability for the trustee. A corporate shell can also be formed around a partnership to create limited liability for the partners and other business ventures, or to immunize one part of a business from the risks of another part. Shell companies can be used to transfer assets from one company into a new one while leaving the liabilities in the former company. There are also shell companies that were created for the purpose of owning assets, including tangibles, such as a real estate for property development. I think we can stop there. I wonder who was running a shell company under anonymity. I wonder which lawyer was helping said person run a shell company under anonymity. And golly gee, I wonder which person running a shell company under anonymity who had a lawyer helping him run said shell company under anonymity was getting money from HUD to buy property that he said Obama was responsible for when the housing market collapsed, only to turn around and take said property and rent it back to the very poor people that he said Obama was responsible for creating when the housing market collapsed. And guess who, if you were to ask in a press conference that he will never have, because he will never have that press conference, will tell you that he knew absolutely nothing about any of what went on. And not only that, but the White House's current House Negro in charge, who is currently running HUD, who got busted spending tens of thousands of dollars on office furniture, knew about everything that was going on with Hannity and HUD and his real estate deals, but he said nothing about it. White America, what you don't seem to realize is that there is a white elite that doesn't give a shit about you. Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about you. Hannity doesn't give a shit about you. Most of these rich conservatives that you love to stand up and support, and you love to wave their flags, and you love to just talk all this liberal crap, this liberal this and liberal that, they don't give a shit about you. They are in the business of making money, and they will step on anyone that they can in order to make money. They use white people's fear and bigotry and racism, and they manipulate them into doing exactly what they want them to do at the voting booth, on the real estate market, in every aspect of American life. We just had a racist hate fest over the weekend in Georgia. Do you think that the rich white conservative elite gives a damn about any of those KKK, Hitler-loving, Nazi flag-waving, redneck racists? They don't give a shit about you. Don't you think that they know there is no stopping immigration? There is no stopping what's coming over that border, but they use your bigoted, racist fears against you to constantly make more and more money at your expense. They don't give a shit about you. You are going to drown in your own pool of racist, bigoted ideology, and you are too stupid to see it. I mean, think about it. You ever notice how rich people's kids never go to war when it's time to fight? It's always poor people that go. You go and do their dirty work and you get nothing for it. Donald Trump is a 5-time draft dodger. He claimed he had turf toe or something like that, and that's why he couldn't go fight. And this is the man who is in charge of the United States military. This is the man who decides that your kids should go fight somewhere. His kids get to stay at home and laugh at your kids while they are being sent back to the United States in body bags. And now we have Hannity, who's been sucking Trump's since day one, who relentlessly dogged Obama, who accused Obama of being responsible for the housing crisis that he had no control over because that entire business is run by rich, white, elite males. It was Hannity that said no one should own another person's house, that no one should take advantage of a housing crisis and take someone's home away from them, only to find out that he owns a bunch of other people's houses that he is more than happy to rent back to them and cash in off of them like the slumlord that we are now finding out he is. And this is the guy that you Trump supporters and your Hannity supporters and your, what do you call it, leftist, what is the left or the right? You know, well, it's stupid in all directions, no matter which way you want to look at it. But these are the people that while your kids are getting shot up in schools and you can't pay your house notes or your mortgages and you're losing your property, they are taking your property. They're taking your lives. They're taking everything from you and they are cashing in. They are sucking the very bone marrow out of your bones. They are taking everything from you and you're too stupid to see it. But what they do is they throw you a bone. Your consolation prize is that your skin is white. And because your skin is white, that somehow makes you better than everybody else. When in fact, they treat you just like they treat me, just like they treat the Latinos, just like they treat the Asians and the Indians and the Africans and people that come from shithole places. Hannity is a very small part of a very big truth about white America, about who's really in charge, and about how some whites actually think about other whites. But that's okay. You can still stay white. You can still say I'm white and I'm proud and I love Hitler and all that crap. The total irony is that black man that you hate so much, the one that got you health care, the one that avoided the housing crisis, the one that saved the automobile industry, the one who was looking out for you, you vilify him, while the very white people that you swear are looking out for your best interests are screwing you like a $2 whore on a $1 corner, and then they only pay you 25 cents. This is KTM in the Wake Up Report saying think a little bit. Really think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.